Oh, we'll start off with a bit of a laughy one. He helped kill my mother, so I greased his effing brakes. Capiche? So let me get this straight. If you cross the North Korean border illegally, you get 12 years hard labour. If you cross the Afghanistan border illegally, you get shot. 2 Americans just got 8 years for crossing the Iranian border. If you cross the UK border illegally, you get a job, a driver's licence, food stamps, a place to live, healthcare, housing, child benefit, education, tax-free business for 7 years. No wonder we're a country in debt. We really are a joke of a country. Australian High Court to hear allegations of paedophile and bribe taking New South Wales Supreme Court judges. On Friday 18th of January 2019, I filled a special leave to appear application with the High Court of Australia, which agitates unchallenged allegations of paedophile and bribe-taking judges in New South Wales. They are allegations that numerous judges of the New South Wales Supreme Court worked to have suppressed for over 18 months, and even while I was in jail for being convicted of making part of the allegations in court. The suppression orders are now lifted, as they did nothing more than scandalise the court by making it look corrupt and having the suppression order in the first place. So it's not just British courts, it's all courts the way the judges are corrupt. That's not really surprising because they're all corrupt. You know, it speaks for itself. Macron accused of selling France to Germany in furious Marine Le Pen tirade. France is far right, because you know, if you're against migration for your actual country, then you're far right. So let's just get that straight. France's far-right leader Marine Le Pen has accused President Emmanuel Macron of destroying France's national sovereignty, stressing that he was selling the country to Germany, Europe's economic powerhouse. Not for long though. A newly strengthened treaty will strengthen Paris and Berlin's cooperation in foreign affairs, defence, external and internal security, but also boost the EU's defence and security capabilities. Emmanuel Macron is selling our country and demolishing our sovereignty. Mrs. Le Pen, the head of the ultra-conservative Rassemblement National Rally Party, told the French news channel BFM TV. Mrs. Le Pen was commentating on the young centrist decision to deepen a treaty of post-war reconciliation treaty signed by Paris and Berlin in 1963 in a bid to show that the EU's 2 leading powers remain strong and united. Yeah. But of course, let's not forget he is actually a traitor. So, and the guillotine is waiting for him. How Stranger Things preteen fans went to war with the EU. Proposed Article 13 copyright directives sparks huge online backlash and fears of mass purge. A sub-clause of the European Union directive has inadvertently promoted a spate of preteen mass hysteria after fans of popular TV show became convinced that Brussels legislation is responsible for a mysterious purge of their favourite meme accounts. I have heard about Article 13 and been warned that lots of Instagram accounts were going to be deleted, said 12-year-old Julie from London. I didn't really take it that seriously, but when I woke up to lots of deleted accounts, I realised it was a big deal. Article 13 refers to sub-clause of the proposed EU directive on copyright in the digital single market. Of course, it's a further attack on freedom of speech, freedom to look at things, freedom to do things, because the EU is a dictatorship. So that's what it's really about. Women win 12-year-old equal pay battle with Glasgow City Council. Thousands of female council workers to receive payouts that could total more than 500 million and with a bit of luck could bring the council down. Thousands of women council workers in Glasgow are set to receive payouts that unions estimate could reach more than 500 million in total following the resolution of a 12-year equal pay battle. Last October, more than 8,000 women employed in home care, schools and nurseries, cleaning and catering services across the city took part in what was believed to be the biggest ever equal pay strike in the UK. Glasgow City Council and this equal pay claimant group, represented by Action for Equality Scotland and the Unison GMB and Unite unions, confirmed on Thursday that they had reached an agreement in principle to a package of payments to resolve the historic claims. Let's hope it does bring down the councils, because we need to get rid of all councils because they are the den of corruption and paedophilia. Yellow Vest protests continue in France despite Macron outreach. Thousands of Yellow Vest protests have rallied in France cities for the 10th consecutive weekend, despite a national debate launched this week by the traitor and Rothschild puppet Emmanuel Macron, aimed at reducing their anger. In Paris, about 8,000 protesters started their march at the Invalids Monument, home of Napoleon's tomb, to remember the 10 people killed in protest-related traffic accidents on the hundreds injured since the movement for economic justice kicked off on November 17th. French police have been criticised for using rubber bullets that have caused several serious injuries to protesters. It's not normal to treat people the way we are being treated. We have injured people every Saturday, said Julie Robert, a demonstrator in Paris. Protesters marched peacefully in the French capital, but clashes erupted at the end of the main demonstration. Some activists wearing masks threw projectiles and knocked down a traffic light before police charged at them. I would suspect that the police charged at them, and that's what that happened, not the way that they're saying it. Using tear gas and water cannons, 30 people were arrested in Paris, police said. Clashes were also reported in Bordeaux, Toulouse and the western cities of Rennes. At the Invalids protests, carrying a banner that read "Citizens in Danger," marched at the front of the procession and held coffin-shaped boards in memory, as you can see in the picture there. But again, the abuse that the protesters have had to put up with, and the violent attacks that they've been under, just shows you how corrupt and how close they are to bringing in this dictatorship, because if they got the dictatorship in, they'd be shooting them. Macron using Brexit to warn French population over possible dire EU referendum. Emmanuel Macron is using Brexit as an example to dissuade French people from asking for the referendum on EU membership, claimed President of MCBG Consulting Philippe Monod-Chevalier. You see, they've made a total screw up, and it's by design. Our government, traitors, treason, in connection with the French, the Germans and all the rest of the other evil dictators, have made it so hard because they don't want anyone else to try and get out, because they'll see, look how bad it's been for Britain. So, when quite simply, all we need to do is repeal the 72 Act, repeal anything else that have been signed into treasonously by a treasonous bunch of basically Nazi dictators in our country. But hey, Mr. Monod-Chevalier told France 24 he believed Brexit was a very convenient example of a referendum gone bad in favour of Emmanuel Macron's domestic policies. The MCBG consulting president claimed the French leader is using the British political deadlock as an example of what could happen if he responds to demands for the French referendum in his country. No, because they know that the French will vote to leave the EU as well, and that's it, it'll be over. That's why they're doing the best to stop it happening, but it's too late. Everyone can see that Brexit and the EU is nothing more than a dictatorship, unelected dictatorship at that as well, but hey, who knows. Express. I have no idea if he's sorry. Crash victim speaks out as Philip drives again. But in the papers yesterday, they said that he's phoned up to see if it was okay. So there's more lies in the paper as well. Gosh, what a shock. Except that's exactly what we suspected anyway. They will do anything to stop Brexit. Ministers says cabinet colleagues support plot for second referendum. See, they're admitting it's a plot, so therefore treason. So let's hang them, eh? Well, if they want to, okay. They want to push those buttons and really piss the public off. Yeah, okay. Waste of paper star. Barney wife's naked raid terror. It ain't our sad. Windsor Davis dies 88. People. Prince could have killed us. You don't give a shit. You're just a slave to him. This is the People. My baby's 25 heart attacks in 24 hours. Mum's joy after doctors saved top with 17 operations. Mirror. Crash victim world exclusive. Prince Philip hasn't even said sorry. Injured mum. He could have killed us and must quit driving. And he's been warned by the police for not wearing a seatbelt again. But wait a minute. If that was you or I, it'd be on the spot fine. One of the richest men in the country? No. Just warned about it. Not that I think you should have to wear a seatbelt anyway. That was all brought in because the insurance companies were having to pay out too much for injuries. So, you know, it's all commercial bullshit anyway. Telegraph. Duke back behind the wheel as unhappy crash victim speaks out. MP plotters risk political tsunami, warns Fox. NHS patients to get fast-track surgery if wait exceeds 6 months. Anything but independent. May's Brexit deal can still go through. Well, you mean the betrayal and treason? Can it? Really? Traffic children are being decentered. We should abandon hope in electric cars. Film ratings afford sexual violence. Affect sexual violence. Okay. Diane Abbott. Why is the BBC biased against Labour and me? Same reason you're biased against everyone else. Shadow Cabinet ramps up pressure for final say. Corbyn faces call for senior figures to back new referendum. As I've said every time, we've had a referendum, we voted to leave. You haven't carried out what we voted to do, so what's the point? And it's so that you can get the referendum to vote the way you want to, and then you can say, there you go, we remain, which has been the plan all along, of course. The fail. Back on the road alone, 48 hours after crash, Defiant Philip, 97, is warned by police for no seatbelt. There you go. The Observer. Defiant Burko set to stay as Speaker. Anger over threat to withhold peerage. Rift crucial as MPs plan for new Brexit moves. 4 in 10 ex-council homes now rented out by landlords. Trust women. We're not going... something. The Sunday Times. May in meltdown. Emails revealed Commons aid helps plot to second Article 50. Brexit Plan B to woo DUP and Dublin speaks civil war at number 10. Spark civil war. PM could be told to quit early in new bid for Brexiteer votes. Exposed. The horrors Zimbabwe is hiding behind a new blackout. 1,000 fines for children's holidays in term time. So that's just ridiculous. You live in a dictatorship. Well, of course you do, because if it's £1,000 fine from £100, or was it £100? Either way, it's just another way of turning the screw, showing that we are in a dictatorship. And I'll leave you with that.